What is the real estate market doing in St. Paul, Minnesota? I'm here to answer exactly that. Welcome to the Selling in St. Paul channel. My name is Ali Garcet. I'm a real estate agent here to help you net the most. My goal is to not just throw numbers at you and overwhelm you and have you go on your merry way. My goal is to go over specific numbers that actually make a difference in your education and thinking about when should I sell and how do these numbers affect my property. I'm not going to be covering everything in this video because I want to make sure that I'm answering very specific questions. If you have other specific questions that you want answered, the best way to start the home selling process, if you know that you want to sell, is to book a call with the link in the description. That goes directly to my calendar. So make sure that you book a call for a date and a time that works for you. Make sure all home selling parties are on the Zoom call and we will take it from there. If you have any general questions, you can just drop it in the comments below. I try to respond to every single one of them. So let's get started here. This is the behind the scenes data of what real estate agents have access to. It can be a lot, but I want to focus on the most important stuff again. So for example, St. Paul, Minnesota, for single families, this is the biggest change that I've ever seen. For single families selling in St. Paul, Minnesota, it is a seller's market. Congratulations. You can expect to sell at almost 100% of your list price. There's a big caveat there. If you watch any of my other videos, you will already know this. This is assuming that you list at an appropriate price. This doesn't mean that you can just list at whatever price you want and you're going to get 99.8% of that. So even if you don't choose me as your real estate agent, just make sure that you follow the advice of what your real estate agent is giving you. As of right now, the December 2024 information, which is the most recent information we have since we're currently right now in January 2025, is that you can expect around 24 days on market if you're selling a single family in St. Paul. Median sold price was $300,000. This is where I want to go into the biggest change I have seen ever. In my 4 years of being a real estate agent, I've sold over 100 homes. Here to help you sell at the highest we can get. Okay, so this is what I want to show you here. Single families, draw your attention to this bar. It's a seller's market, steep seller's market for selling a single family. If you are selling a condo in St. Paul, it's a little bit less of a seller's market. However, I want to draw your attention now to specifically the zip code 55101 for condos. Look at what happens. Boom! It becomes a buyer's market. If you don't look at the data, you don't know what's going on. If you are selling a condo in 55101, you as a seller do not have the upper hand. The buyers do. That's why you can go from expecting, what was it, 20 something days on the market to 116 days on the market if you're selling a condo, a townhouse, or an apartment in the zip code of 55101. There are 8 months of inventory, meaning if no other condo or apartment hits the market in 8 months or 7.5 months, all of them are going to be taken. List to sold price ratio is 92.3%. This is still higher than what I would predict for it being a buyer's market. So as of right now, I predict, my own prediction is if this trend keeps up or it continues to be a buyer's market, my prediction is that the list to sold price going into the summer is actually going to be less. That you're not going to be able to sell at 92%, that you may only be able to sell at 89% of what you list. Again, assuming that you list appropriately the first time. Going back to single family though, the average single family has a median value of about $307,000. Again, this is very, very general. 93 properties hit the market, which is lower than November. That's still a lot of competition. Notice how I do not want to talk about the median dollar per square foot. That is not how single families and condos are evaluated. Appraisers don't look at that. If you're looking for commercial properties, then yes, this metric matters, but overall, appraisers don't look at this when they go to do valuations of your property. Now I want to draw your attention to the sold listings because we can go over pending all day, but pending doesn't mean anything until it is actually sold. Then it becomes valuable data. Sold in December, we had 176 properties that sold in December. The median sales price was $300, which was higher than the previous month. Overall, property prices and home values are going up. We do not see a foreseeable crash in the future. And the median days was about 24 days for a single family in overall St. Paul. When we go to click on the sold price tab of this, as you can tell, this is the $250,000 mark, this is a $300,000 mark, and this is a $350,000. We are, since January 2022, we've been kind of flirting between 250 up to 330-ish. So that's what we're looking at. It's pretty stable. Now let's go over again if you have a condo specifically in 55101, because this is the biggest difference that I've been seeing. Buyer's market, you can expect 4 months before you end up going under contract. Let's go down to the sold listings, and we have median sales price of $170,000, which was an increase from the month before that. And now that we have this tab highlighted open, we can see that we're looking around the $200,000 mark, a little bit above that overall. The highest peaks most recently was January 2024, which was $301,000, and September 2024, $250,000, September 2023, $299,000. So I want to look at now the median days. How long can you expect your condo in 55101 to sit on the market? We are looking at an upward trend of 116 days was December. However, not only was it the end of the year, which is when activity tends to slow down and therefore properties remain on the market for longer, it was also before an election. And whenever there's an election coming up, all activity tends to cease. And then post-election, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of buyers that came out of the woodwork and now they're looking at properties. So right now there is a lot of activity. Now I want to go over what interest rates are predicted to do and how that affects you as a seller. Overall, interest rates are predicted to increase, but not by too much. They're predicted to see a high of 7.8%, and that's going to be Q3 of 2025, and we're going to see a low of 6.5. So overall, quarters 2 and 3 are predicted to see on the higher side, so 7 to 7.8, and then Q1 and Q4 are predicted to see around 6.5 to 7%. Ballpark, of course, we're in January 2025 right now. Who knows what can happen? Stranger things have happened before. So what does this mean to you? Again, my goal of these videos are to not just regurgitate information, it's to interpret it for you, as that's my job as your real estate agent, should you choose to hire me. If you plan on waiting to list your home until the spring and therefore sell your home in the summer months, that's also when the interest rate is going to be the highest for the buyers. Therefore, we are decreasing our buyer pool. Buyers will be priced out. We may be looking at those that can afford purchasing all cash, but this is where it's very, very important for you to choose the right real estate agent that doesn't just tell you what the offers are, but also that they're going to reach out to the lender of every single buyer and qualify them, verify to make sure they fully pre-approved. Have they been fully underwritten? What are the chances of this falling out of contract? Because the last thing you want to do is list your home on the market, accept the first or maybe fourth, fifth offer, only to realize that the buyer never really fully qualified, and now the interest rate goes from 7.5 to 7.8, and that buyer no longer qualifies, so you have to fall out of contract. You do not want to go back on the market, because I'm sure, as you know already, when you're looking right now at homes in the market, you're thinking, wow, this house has been in the market for 185 days. What's wrong with the property? We do not want to do that for your house. We want to list at the right time, at the right price, the first time. It's not the time right now to be pushing the envelope and selling for higher than your neighbor, because none of that right now. If we list your property and we have no bites, no viewings at all in the first 2 weeks, we've priced too high. If we have viewings, people are coming to the property, and we have no offers, we have priced too high. At that point, the market has spoken, especially if you're listing a condo in 55101, because it's a buyer's market. So overall, in layman's terms, January 2025 for selling in St. Paul, do not expect a quick sale. Do not expect to get over list price. Do not expect to be selling at the highest out of your entire neighborhood. We are no longer in that market. However, on the positive side, we do not expect to see interest rates at 8% anymore like they were predicted in 2024. As of right now, you can expect around 24 to 30 days of selling a single family in St. Paul on the market before you get accepted an offer that's almost 100% of list price. Everything is negotiable to include the buyer's agent's compensation. So when you meet with a listing agent, I'll be talking to you about my compensation, and then separately is the buyer agent compensation. So we can take that as we get offers. The buyers are going to be saying, this is my offer, this is what I want to close, this is how much I want and you to pay toward my closing costs, and this is how much I want you to pay toward my buyer agent compensation. We can negotiate all of them. And if you have a single family in St. Paul right now, you still have the upper hand. If you want more specifics for your specific property, if you want to have a conversation as to whether you should sell now versus later, book a call using the link below. You and I will meet face to face over Zoom, and I'll see you there. If you have any other questions you want to keep perusing, I have a lot of other videos on my channel to include this one. I'll see you there.